If you look out the window to your left, and I mean your far left, that is, you'll see receding into the distance the tracks that our country has left behind in the dust. Yes, we've apparently decided, or had it decided for us, that we're going to aim this country for the side of that big old mountain you see getting closer and closer, and we're going to hit it at full speed because why half-ass it? I mean, so high school has long been the breeding ground for just about every species of bad idea, but in days of yore, that particular petri dish was generally limited to the whispered grandstanding among the student body over wet trays filled with last year's back of the walk-in goulash and ranch dressing covered tater tots. It was, in fact, part of the job of the school's teachers and administration at large to dispel bad ideas and keep them from coming to fruition. Failure to succeed in this was the exception rather than the rule, which was why end-of-the-year pranks could be talked about around the campfire for decades to come. I still remember many of mine. It was a we got away with it moment, and those moments were rare. Now we are embroiled in a great civil war of ideas that spans the gamut from the underdeveloped brains of the students all the way up to the underdeveloped brains of the fools who were supposed to be watching over them and keeping them from sticking a fork in a wall socket. And there is nothing left that spreads leftism in the world more quickly than stupid people, which is why you have the spectacle of a drag show as the halftime show at a Vermont high school a couple of weeks ago. 30 students and faculty members dressed in drag and put on a show, which the fans in the stands unfortunately decided to call a drag ball. I thought a drag ball was what you do in the toilet sometimes when you get older. Listen, it shows how much I know. Folks, just exactly when did it happen? And just because that something pops into your head to do, you should just plow ahead and do it without checking to see if it's appropriate or not. Because here's what bothers me about this, as per our usual arrangement. This is being classified as some wonderful opportunity for people to speak their truth, because the truth gives a shit what you think, but it's absolutely 100% not that. What it is, very clearly, is a message. It's a message to you and to me. We're here, we're filling the blank, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You see, what the left lacks in brains, they also lack in the idea of tactfully working to change someone's mind. This whole let's have a healthy debate and then think over our own positions to see if they might be wrong thing is for the birds. And as far as they're concerned, buried beneath things like this is a historical and ideological hand holding a gun, and that gun is aimed at you. It's aimed at me. It's aimed at anyone else who wants to get in their way. Folks, the leftist mindset only recognizes things in terms of fear. Fear is the coin of its realm. That's why we even have a word like homophobia, because the left thinks that you only fear and hate what you disagree with. You see where I'm going with this? Their answer to that perceived fear and hate, let's shove it more and more into your face until eventually you bow the knee and worship at the feet of your betters. I know it sounds like I'm drawing this a little thick, but I'm not. Drag shows don't belong at high school functions, period. End of story. If you think they're going to stop there, and listen, you can't be more wrong about it. The so-called progressive agenda doesn't have an endpoint in sight. There are no stop signs there. There's no yields. Utopia is about constant change, constant fear of being unable to change in the way you want. And it's frankly an exhausting way to live life. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm too busy trying to avoid the drag ball. Golly. God have mercy. I'm glad my kids go to a small town school.